Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into my official week number 18 NFL score predictions. The first week 18 in NFL history. They added on the extra game to make more money, and here we are with week number 18, some different playoff scenarios, things like that. Guys, the reason I haven't put out any videos recently, I got COVID, and I've been laying on my bed the past week. Felt a little bit better on Friday, Saturday. Went to work out today. It didn't go well. I'm about 80%, 75% back. Whenever I pick up a weight, I get dizzy. I'm dizzy right now, but I'm going to power through this. I got my voice back. So let's go. Let's start. They actually do have two Saturday games. We've got the Chiefs at the Denver Broncos. The Broncos completely eliminated from the playoff picture, going to be looking for a quarterback this offseason. The Chiefs playing for seeding, possibly could get that number one seed if the Tennessee Titans lose. This is going to be a blowout, let's be real, folks. The Broncos don't want to win this game. If you're the Denver Broncos, you want to get as best of a draft pick as possible. And as for the Chiefs, there's still some motivation to stay sharp. You maybe could get that number one overall seed, guys. Remember, it is very important. If you get the number one seed, you do get the bye. If you get the 2 seed, you got to play in the wild card round. Those are the different rules. Now, year number 2 of those new rules. We'll see if the Titans get the number one seed. Would be pretty crazy. The Tennessee Titans get the number one seed. That's crazy to me. But if they win, I believe they will get it. I have the Chiefs winning this game handily against a Denver Broncos team with nothing to play for. The nightcap Saturday game will be the Dallas Cowboys traveling to Philadelphia for a divisional battle here. Not exactly sure if the Cowboys are playing for seeding here. I'm guessing Dak is going to play. They are 11-5 right now. They obviously won their division, clinched a playoff spot. The Eagles wanting to see if Jalen Hurts can be a franchise quarterback. We know he's going to go try hard. I do have Dallas winning 27-24, but I'm not exactly sure on this one if Dak Prescott and that Cowboys offense is going to play. I'm guessing they will, especially with that bad performance they had this past week at home against Arizona. I'm guessing Dallas is going to be playing. I think they're playing for seeding. There's a lot of teams in the NFC that are 11-5. We know the Packers do have the number one overall seed, so the playoffs do go through Lambeau. If you want to make the Super Bowl, you're probably going to have to beat the Packers in Lambeau if you're from the NFC. And then the Eagles, you know, they're looking for Jalen Hurts. Is he a franchise quarterback? Can he be someone they can start next year? I don't think he can be, but Jalen Hurts is going to go try hard for this game, no doubt. He's playing for a job for next year. It's going to be a close one. I've got Dallas winning 27-24. The 1 o'clock slate, so the NFL always does this in the last week of the regular season. They put all of the terrible games at 1 o'clock, and then all of the games with playoff implications at 4:25. That's how they've done it the past 5 or 6 years now. So we've got the Bengals at the Browns. The Bengals clinched the AFC North. They're already in the playoffs, probably going to be resting Joe Burrow. He got nicked up towards the end of that win they had this past weekend against Kansas City. And then the Browns, we don't know who's going to play with the Browns. They still have a game tonight on Monday Night Football. We're guessing, I'm guessing Baker Mayfield is going to play, but they could let him get surgery, so I really don't know. I've got the Browns winning this 24-17. Baker Mayfield, we know he needs surgery on his non-throwing shoulder, his left shoulder. So maybe he plays in Pittsburgh and then decides to get surgery and not play that last game. The Browns are in desperate need of a receiver in the draft. They might try and lose this last game to get better draft position. And the Bengals, the reason I have the Bengals losing this game, my expectation, they're not playing Joe Burrow. They're not taking any chances. They already have the AFC North locked up. They have their seed locked up. So they're going to be resting Joe Burrow and probably Jamar Chase and most of that offense, maybe even T. Higgins, things like that. So I have the Browns winning a game that is completely meaningless. Browns actually already completely eliminated from the playoffs at this point, 24-17. We've got the Packers traveling to Detroit. The thought process here is Aaron Rodgers will not play. He will rest his toe. The Packers already do have the number one seed clinched, so Jordan Love should start against a Detroit team that really has been playing better recently. I do have the Packers winning this game 26-22. I think the Packers brass, that front offense, really wants to get a look at Jordan Love. They're going to be trying in this game. No, they're probably not going to have a lot of their starters out there due to the Packers already clinching the #1 seed. But this is Jordan Love. They invested a first-round pick into him. They're going to want to see him play well. Detroit's been better recently, but I think they continue to sit Jared Goff in hopes they keep losing and get a #1 or #2 overall pick. They're 2-13-1 right now, I think. So they're looking for a #1 or #2 overall draft pick. They've been resting Jared Goff, saying it's an injury. It's really an excuse to lose games. It's very smart by what Detroit's doing. Their front office has seen their team play so well, but their front office is saying, listen, we need to lose these games. We're very happy the team's playing well, but winning these games in terms of our future with the draft position, it's not smart. So we're going to sit Jared Goff, blame it on an injury when he's really not injured, and then throw the backup in there and lose games. It's very smart what Detroit's doing. They're going to lose this game. Jordan Love gets his first win of his career. Next, we've got Indianapolis at Jacksonville. Indianapolis, very simple situation here, winning in. Jacksonville is just historically bad. They just got a 50-burger dropped on them by Mac Jones. I've got the Colts getting the job done, winning this game off that surprising loss at home to Las Vegas. Jonathan Taylor still had a good game. I think he runs wild for 202 touchdowns on Jacksonville's poor defense. And Indianapolis gets the job done and they make the playoffs. They win this game 35-17. Jacksonville potentially locking up the #1 overall pick with this loss. Next, we have the Steelers at the Ravens. Both of these teams do need help, but they can still both make the playoffs. It's a bit of a long shot. They need some help. They obviously need to win this game. The Steelers need to beat the Browns as well on Monday Night Football tonight. But they both have a chance at the playoffs. This game's in Baltimore. Will Lamar Jackson play? Probably pretty doubtful. They're probably just going to rest him. Even if Baltimore somehow gets into the playoffs, they have a very poor defense that's riddled with injuries. I do have Baltimore winning this game, though, at home, 27-17 over Pittsburgh. Tonight, Pittsburgh plays on Monday Night Football. It's probably just going to end up being a farewell to Big Ben. The Browns are out of the playoffs. The Steelers need a miracle to make the playoffs, so they're probably going to turn the broadcast into just Big Ben's last home game as a Pittsburgh Steeler. We know he's retiring at the end of the year. And then Baltimore, they've got a defense that's been ravaged by injuries. Lamar Jackson very likely not playing. Both of these teams very likely missing the playoffs, although I do have Baltimore getting the win at home at the end of the regular season, 27-17. Next, we have Chicago at Minnesota. This game with 0 playoff implications. My expectation, just because it's what Kirk Cousins would do, is for Kirk Cousins to come back fully healthy for this game and throw 4 touchdowns in a meaningless game, because that's just what Kirk Cousins does. I do have Minnesota winning this one 31-24. They should get Kirk Cousins back, and you know what? It's meaningless. I would really like to see Justin Fields get another shot. Don't know how healthy he is, but if he's healthy, why not throw him out there, get him some more reps? It is, these reps are invaluable. Minnesota probably not going to be trying too hard. You could get him a confidence boost. Maybe he throws 2 or 3 touchdown passes here. That would be nice to see, but I do have Minnesota winning this game. Kirk Cousins, it'd be the most Kirk Cousins thing ever. He comes back for Week 18 in a completely meaningless game and throws 4 touchdown passes, 2 to Justin Jefferson probably. I've got Minnesota winning this one by a touchdown. Next, we've got Washington at the New York Giants. I don't know what you want me to say about this one, folks. I mean, my goodness. I have Washington winning 20-13. They've got a decent defense. Taylor Heineke, who knows? It's a terrible game. The Giants want to lose. They want a better draft position. They're actually set up, the New York Giants are, to get 2 top 10 picks, because they got another pick in a trade, I think, from Seattle. So they should actually be really well positioned. Also, the New York Jets could have 2 top 10 picks. So New York could have 6 of the top 10 picks, because the Jets have 2 top 10 picks and the Giants have 2 top 10 picks. It's kind of an interesting thing there. I think the Giants are fully tanking, fully trying to lose these games. They're going to lose this one as well. Lower scoring in the Meadowlands, Week 18, 20-13. Next, we've got Tennessee at Houston. Tennessee looking for that number 1 seed. They certainly are not the best team in the AFC, but just the way it's gone, they could get the number 1 seed. I think they get it. They win this game 32-16. Houston's been better recently, except for this past week when they only scored 7 points. Davis Mills showing some things. I still don't think he's a franchise quarterback in the NFL, but for a rookie, he's played decent recently. But Tennessee, they know they're trying to get that top 2, top 1 overall seed, looking for that playoff bye round 1. It's very elusive. It's very important. I do not think it will matter if Tennessee gets the bye, because I do not think they will be able to beat a team like Kansas City, a team like Buffalo. They'll be out in the second round or the conference championship round. They're not making the Super Bowl, folks. Let's be real. I do have them winning this game 32-16, though. Moving on to the 425 games, the New Orleans Saints still can make the playoffs. They do need some help from the San Francisco 49ers. They need the 49ers to lose to the Rams, which is possible. It is very possible. And then they also need to win against a terrible Atlanta team. Atlanta might be the most boring team in the NFL. I do have them getting the job done, getting a win on the road, 24-13. Again, Atlanta. Atlanta is a lot like Iowa football. I'm just struggling. They just don't gain yardage. They do not gain yardage. Where's the yardage coming from? It's the same thing with Iowa of the Big Ten. Where's the yardage coming from? They don't gain yards. I cannot pick the Falcons. I just cannot pick them. I have New Orleans winning this game. They need to win it to potentially make the playoffs, 24-13. We've got Seattle at Arizona. This is for seeding. Seattle is obviously out of the playoffs. Arizona would need this win to get a better seed. I have Arizona winning 30-21. It's probably the best for everyone. As for Seattle, they lose this game. They don't have their first round pick. Is Russell Wilson possibly contemplating leaving, getting traded from Seattle? I know he said earlier this week he wants to stay with Seattle, but actions are louder than words. He demanded a trade last offseason. Seattle got worse going into this season, had a terrible year. We'll have to see what happens with Russell Wilson. And then Arizona, they got that big win in Dallas. I think they catapult that win. They've got momentum now. They've got a home game against a team that's not making the playoffs. This is for seeding. They get the win 30-21. Next, we have the New York Jets at Buffalo. I believe this game is for seeding as well. The Jets have been scoring more points recently, I will say that. They almost beat the Bucs. This should be a higher scoring game. I like the over in this one, 37-23. Buffalo beat Atlanta at home last week. Again, the Jets scoring a bit more points. Zach Wilson coming along. He's showing promise. If you're a Jets fan, you're happy about that. But you're probably going to want to lose this game. You want that higher draft pick. The Jets also looking at potentially 2 top 10 draft picks due to trades in previous years. They could also have some really nice draft capital going into the 2022 NFL draft. And with all the mock drafts and things like that, it's basically mock draft season at this point, folks. I love mock drafts. I love looking at them, things like that. So maybe I'll do some videos on that. But overall in this one, give me Josh Allen. They're playing for seeding. They need these wins. They get it done easily at home. The next game, very simple for the 49ers. Win and in. It's a tough task. It's in Los Angeles at the Rams, at Matt Stafford. Can they get it done? I think they can. I think they win this game. They're a playoff team. They're good enough to make the playoffs, and they are in. The quarterback situation, a little tedious. Jimmy G, they're thinking about he's going to be back for this game. We know Trey Lance played in the last game, showed a bit of promise, but I'm guessing they're going to roll with the veteran in a must-win game. Trey Lance will probably definitely be their starting quarterback starting next year, but this is Jimmy G, his final chance here. I think they get it done. Deebo Samuel makes a few big plays, and they get a huge win on the road and make the playoffs. The Rams are already in the playoffs. They've won like 7 straight games. I believe they're 12-4 right now. Give me the 49ers to surprise everyone and get the win and make the playoffs. The next 425 games going to be New England at Miami. I'm guessing this game is also for seeding at this point. New England cannot win their division, but they have already clinched a playoff spot, and I have New England winning this game 24-23. Bill Belichick surprisingly not good in Miami. In Miami, there's something. Tom Brady also was really bad, obviously, with Bill Belichick in Miami, but I think The Patriots get this done. They use their defense 24-23. The Patriots coming off a surprising 50-burger they dropped on Jacksonville at home. They get the job done. They get a win. Miami's coming off a very, very disappointing loss. Tua, they're going to have to let Tua, they need a deep threat. That's what they need. Jalen Waddle is good. He's a nice possession receiver, but they need a deep threat. I've got New England winning this game by 1 point. The next game, good Lord, there's a lot of games. We've got Carolina at the Buccaneers, and I do have the Buccaneers winning this one pretty handily. I'm guessing this is also for seeding at this point. The Buccaneers playing in that bad NFC South. They have already clinched it. The Antonio Brown fiasco, he's off the team. Chris Godwin is out for the year. All of a sudden, the Tampa Bay Bucs have lost some receiving weapons. They still do have Gronk, who looked good this past week in New York. He had, 5 catches for 80 yards, I saw, like, early third quarter. I don't know what he finished with, but he had a good game. And then they also have Mike Evans. But the Buccaneers, I would be very shocked if they even made the conference championship game this year. Like I said, it's so hard to repeat, and there were so many people picking the Tampa Bay Bucs to repeat this year. It just never happens in the NFL, folks. It never does. And unfortunately for the Buccaneers, whether it's injury, whether it's Antonio Brown having some mental problems, we don't know. They've had some injuries. They've lost some weapons. It's going to be very tough with just Mike Evans and Gronk to repeat and even get to the Super Bowl at this point, although I do have them winning this game over a hapless Carolina team 27-14. And then we finally have gotten to the Sunday Night Football game. This is a win and in scenario for both of these teams. We've got the Chargers traveling to Vegas to take on Derek Carr and the Raiders coming off that crazy upset win they had in Indianapolis. And I do have the Chargers winning a higher scoring game, maybe a walk-off field goal type. This is going to be a very close game. Two really good teams, and I think Justin Herbert and that Chargers offense with Keenan Allen, with Austin Eckler, with Mike Williams, they're going to get the job done. They're going to get a huge win and make the playoffs. They're just a better team. They have more firepower than the Raiders. Also, maybe Joey Bosa gets a big sack. That defense, they need someone to step up and make a play. Win and you're in. That's why they flexed this game to Sunday night. It is the true win and in scenario, and this is the final game of the 2021 NFL regular season. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.